Good morning, my friends. It's Sunday morning, and our world's in crisis again. And while everybody's keeping an eye on the Ukraine, and we should be praying for that whole situation, for the truth to come out, for people to be protected. But our government continues to be at work. They're still meeting. Our president has chosen who he wants to be the next Supreme Court justice. So that happened on Friday. And tomorrow afternoon, the Senate is going to vote on S.1975, the Women's Health Protection Act. A lot of people don't seem to think that it's going to pass. I kind of wonder if it's going to be a straw vote. Nevertheless, nobody's talking about it. Not enough people are talking about it. Because, if that thing passes, it won't matter what the Supreme Court says. We will have abortion without limits in all 50 states, all the way up to birth. Our federal tax money can go to abortions way more than it does now. It's our money. Doctors won't have to be the ones who perform abortions, which is true in some states, including my own. Really don't understand how that is protecting women. But then, of course, this act is not correctly named. They named it the Women's Health Protection Act, which is a distraction. What it really is Protect Abortion Businesses Act. So if you have not yet contacted your senator, even if you're in a state like mine where the senators sponsor the act, I want you to contact them. You'll find posts in this group with a link and instructions on how to change that email. First of all, do not put your answer, what your desire is, in the subject line, because if you do that, they won't even read your email. So make sure it just tells them what it's about. S.1975/HR3755. They know what that is. Then they have to open the email and read to find out what your response is. And I want you to tell them that if they vote yes, what it is that they will really be supporting, what they will be protecting. And of course, I don't expect it to get to my senators. I don't expect them to read it. But I want the people working for my senators to read it. So go with that intention, because we're trying to change hearts here. I want them to understand what it is that they're voting for. When I sent that out via my email list, somebody who's very pro-life wrote back and said, I don't understand. How is this involved with sex trafficking? What does this have to do with deadbeat dads? And I answered, and I'm so glad that this person asked. But the fact that nobody seems to know that part is also an issue, right? We're only hearing the headlines, which are post-abortive women shouting their abortions, feeling justified in what they did, and trying to defend what they did. But we're not hearing the full truth. We're not paying attention to the full truth. And the full truth is that, yes, of course, there are men who've been hurt by abortion because they wanted their child. There are men who don't even know. But there are also men manipulating and coercing women into having abortions, guilt-tripping them. If you don't have this abortion, I'm leaving. And then, of course, they leave anyway. And then sex trafficking supports the abortion business, and abortion business supports sex trafficking. And even though abortion facilities are supposed to be paying attention and protecting the women who come in there from abuse of all kinds, they're not, because they know full well that if they protect the pimp, they'll get more business. Women are not talking to their OBGYNs, their family doctors about abortion. They're talking to people at the abortion facility, not even doctors. So to say that abortion is between a woman and her doctor, that's not true either. It doesn't happen. And honestly, God just keeps telling me over and over again that this is about Christians living, what's the right word? Oh, well, until I come up with better words, the Lord give me better words for this. But until Christians live repentant lives, washing themselves clean, apologizing to Him for not honoring their bodies, and I'm talking about sexually, things aren't going to change. We make a difference by being different. All right, the next Worship to End Abortion begins Wednesday, but I'm actually going to be online Tuesday night to do a teaching introduction to our 40 days of worship and prayer for the end of abortion. And even if they vote S.1975 down or vote for it, we're still doing it. It doesn't matter. Ultimately, this 40 days of worship is about making abortion unthinkable, no matter what the laws are. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have worship nights, Zoom worship calls on Wednesday nights. And I will have guests to interview so that you can hear more perspectives than just mine. Hear from people who are working the quote-unquote front lines, working with women who are in crisis, working with women who've had abortions. I want you to hear about the abortion pill, which is actually 2 pills, what it's actually like, because there are lies out about that as well. So this is not just us worshiping and praying. It's also about us learning and understanding more about this issue so that we can correct the lies that we see, whether it's in a conversation with somebody in person or online, that we can speak the truth in love. But we got to have information to do that. So we're going to do that this week. All right, today I'm going to go to church, and then I'm going into DC. I'll be there around 11 o'clock, hoping to do a Facebook Live. And then I'm meeting with a friend at David's tent, and we're going to do communion and more prayer. She doesn't want to be on Facebook Live, though. So sometime this morning after 11 o'clock, I will be on Facebook Live again in prayer, and I would love for you to join me. If you can't make it live, of course, come back later today and join it. So until then, have an awesome, soulful Sunday.